Did.
Conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting of the Port Orford City Planning Commission to order. It's 5:40 p.m., February 10th, 2026. I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Boydston,
Present.
Commissioner Cherini.
Present.
I see Commissioner Lawton called and said she is out of the state actually and won't be able to be here. And I don't see Commissioner Gomes. I haven't heard from her, but she is not here, but we do have a quorum. Commissioner Thielen, that's me. I am present. So, chair comments. I think we'll just move on today for once. Public comments. Is there anyone online that would like to make a comment on the agenda today?
No one online raising their hand or commenting. No one in the audience has their hands up.
All right, thank you. Additions to the agenda. I don't have anything to add to the agenda. Do you, Crystal? Are we good?
No, looks good to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Minutes. We have some minutes here. Joseph?
Yep. These are from our last meeting in January. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the October ones fully done. So I know I said it last month, but next month you will have 2 sets of minutes. And I will try and get these ones to you sooner, so that way the commission can review them and know that I am getting ahead of this.
All right, thank you. These looked okay to me. Does anyone else have any comments or suggestions, corrections?
I just noticed, I will add the link where it says the minutes were prepared and approved by using the video available out. And then I forgot to put the link in there, so I'll get that in there.
Okay. I didn't see that. Are we good?
It's good to me.
Good to me.
Then I'm going to just call them approved by acclamation. Discussion items. Item A, code compliance enforcement. As Commissioner Gomes said last time, she has been calling up different local municipalities and finding out how they do enforcement. And that's this attachment here. Have you all seen it?
Yeah.
So, and I've also contacted her and asked her if she would be able to contact Reedsport, because I know Reedsport is in the middle of updating their enforcement. But this is really good information here. I see it's interesting that in the second paragraph here, it says that the code enforcement duties are assigned to the planning departments, which I thought was interesting. It's not done in like with the city manager necessarily, or it's done in planning. I thought it was interesting that they feel, different places feel that education is really important. And I feel that too. The last paragraph on that first page, absent a strategic plan, a small city could decide the top 2 or 3 violations the city would like to address. Start with that and then build a code enforcement system around that successful effort, which makes a lot of sense to me. And it's kind of dovetails with what the police said in a meeting I had with them, is they would like to have have things prioritized
Mhm.
and not necessarily have to go around making a lot of decisions about that themselves, although there are decisions that they would make. And then it says, after that, it says, depending on the land use zoning district, a city could roll out different tactics for each one, which I'm interested to talk with Commissioner Gomes about that. So maybe next month she'll have some information about she can fill in some of this. In Gold Beach, the planning director acts as the enforcement officer. And they have website complaints. I thought that was interesting. I know that it's nice to warn people. I know it's nice to have contact with people and the more, it's better to ask and it's better to like speak kindly than it is to just give a warning, a written warning, although written warnings are an important piece of the legal process. So at some point, written warnings are necessary if things don't change.
Well, and you can do a written warning in a nice way.
Yeah.
It's come to our
Yeah.
understanding that you're maybe lights or not, something that is not so like
True.
Well,
fix your lights.
and, we could even just send the first letter and be like, before we issue an official warning,
Right.
this is just a friendly reminder that this is unfortunately not in compliance. If, we receive another complaint or if this persists past a time frame, we will then have to send a formal written warning about it.
Mhm.
Good point.
I remember the Facebook post that you put out. And there were some remarks on there that were telling.
Yeah,
I mean, people were quite hostile.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, they were like, good luck with that.
yeah.
I mean, it sounded like this wasn't going to happen, like not an issue for them. So
Which Facebook are you talking about?
Oh, I just in the local Facebook page, the network.
networks,
Yeah, I put up a picture of a night, a beautiful moon with the clouds. And I said, thankfully, something to the effect, thankfully, we have a dark sky ordinance that
Oh.
allows us to see the beautiful sky at night. And most people were, yay, that's a good thing. But some people were,
There were some comments.
yeah.
I did see that.
And I really wasn't trying to start anything. People put up pictures of sunsets and sunrises and boats. And I thought, oh, this is pretty. Maybe people like this.
Some people have a hair trigger or just sitting on a hair trigger,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
And that's,
The way I heard of it, or the saying that I heard when I was a teacher was, there are kids that will complain if you give them a Ferrari that you got them the wrong color.
Right.
It's the same concept.
yeah.
Well, and the understanding of what the ordinance is about, people think that we're just trying, the city's trying to tell
Yeah.
people what they can and can't do. They don't even look into the fact that you can have outside lights. They just, they need to fit the criteria.
Yeah.
And really the big thing is just they have to be shielded on the top. So the light is being directed horizontally and down,
Yeah.
which I feel like most people try and do anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and I see that Brookings also has an online complaint option. And one of the things that we had talked about here, and maybe next month I'll be able to bring the report from the meeting with the police, is they haven't. So Brookings has an online complaint option also, which I thought is interesting. It looks to me like we're going to need to have some volunteer people. But the big shift in my mind was that it was the planning department, the planning director, the planning department. So that's you. So we're not the planning department. We're the planning commission. But obviously,
Yeah,
all right,
that's fine.
I want to be involved. I mean, we all want to be
Understandably.
involved.
And I believe, at least when I first started working here, when the conversation of, well, why don't we have Joseph do the inspections or do XYZ is because I was already, my plates were already
Yeah.
full and spinning, and I was doing what I could to stop him from falling.
So I'm really interested to see how volunteers integrate into the different cities.
Mhm.
Because I think it's going to be really important. And we do have some volunteers that are willing to do it, to do some work. I know that. So I guess the question then I want to, the question that needs to be addressed, one of the questions that I see is how do we do what other people are doing, given what we have, given the resources that we have? How does that work? How do we have the volunteers and, or how do we make it work? I know we're going to need forms. We're going to need, there's a number of things that we're going to need. This is just kind of a general overview. I just wanted to have this as an introduction to what other cities are doing, and hopefully we'll have a report from Reedsport too. So I've done a lot of talking. So if other people want to,
So how do you, with the city, is there a place in the city website for a person to lodge a complaint?
Yes and no. It's not like we have a dedicated website page specifically for it, but on the city forms page, we do have I believe, fillable complaint form that people can get on their computers and then either print it off or fill it out on the computer and then email it. It says right on there, after filling out, please email to, and then I believe it's my email that's on there. So we do have an option for people to do it. It's just not like a dedicated page like some places might have.
cool.
I suppose a person could just come to the city office and say, and it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
lights. It could be,
Anything.
Could be anything.
We get a good amount of people walking in asking for complaint forms, or wanting to complain about something that we need them to fill out a complaint form just to get a paper trail going. So they are
would
available.
that include things like somebody's dog barking or?
Yep. We've seen dog barking, lights bright at night, loud noises at night, fences too close to property line, fence too close to a cliffside, all kinds of things. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head that I remember seeing.
And so when you get that complaint form filled out, where does it go after that?
Depending on the content of the complaint, it'll either go to me, the city administrator, or the police department. If I get one that, is like the fence too close to the property line, I usually just reach out and try and get an idea of what the situation is, and try and resolve it diplomatically. As to what happens when it goes to like the police department, I couldn't say. I imagine that it's pretty much the same though.
Okay, can we move on? Outdoor lighting code and draft council recommendation. So this is, if you see, there's a letter. Oh, we've already done that.
This was
There's it called draft of planning commission recommendations to city council. So after our last meeting, when we had testimony from Rolly Willis, who was formerly on the commission and is very interested in the lighting code. When he said, whatever we do, we're going to have to get the police involved. And when that happened, when I started thinking about that, I realized that we can change this lighting code as a planning commission. We go and it's a lot of work to do it, and we can do it. And if we thought it was going to do something, I would be all 100% into it. But I believe from looking at the other codes that we have the two basic pieces of we have two of the most important pieces of the code in our code already that everybody else has. The shading of the lights, so the light doesn't go below the horizontal, and light level at the property lines. Those are kind of the two of the big ones. We also have the street light ones, which are really good, and we've done a lot of good with those. But those two are in our code. And as I understand it, our code as written, the enforcement part is okay. But when it got passed, the city council wanted to give 5 years for it to come in, things to come into compliance. So the 5 years are up in August. I've said all this in this letter. So what I'm recommending to the city is that we focus on the enforcement piece, and then at some point, if the light code is not sufficient, if it's being enforced and it's not sufficient, that then we can detail it out and make some changes. Are you looking for it?
Yeah.
It's a bold draft of planning commission recommendations on top.
After that. There you go.
What happens when I get too many papers going?
So I'm just going to go ahead and read this letter because I wrote it and I want everybody to, I just want to run through it again. So this is a draft of a letter to go to the city council to say where we are at. And this is just a draft for us to vote on, basically. I can't write a letter to the city council myself. It has no meaning. But if the planning commission decides to write the letter, then we're actually saying something to them, and we can expect, well, we can just give them an answer, basically. So here's the background. The city council has asked the planning commission to come up with amendments to the outdoor lighting code to make it enforceable and to also address the holiday lighting section so it's not tied to a particular date. The PC has met and discussed both issues and makes the following recommendations. And I just wrote this as a draft.
Where are you reading this?
I'm reading the very first paragraph.
It's right here. Holiday lighting.
Where is it said the city council has asked? I'm sorry.
Very first paragraph.
Background, the city, sorry, okay, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, so the city council has asked us to do
No, I get it.
Make
I
it
get it. I just didn't
enforceable
see where you were reading.
and to deal with the Christmas lights, basically.
Okay, sorry.
So holiday lighting, I put that one first. Holiday lighting. So amend section, whatever, which lists exceptions to the lighting code, item C. These are exceptions. Our code currently reads holiday lighting during the months of November, December, and January, provided lighting does not glare on adjacent streets or adjacent or nearby properties. And the council doesn't like that because maybe people want to put up something in July or for a holiday, for some other time. Crystal?
I just wanted to know, are you wanting comments on this as we go through, or you want to read the whole thing first?
Let's go ahead and have comments. Absolutely.
Well, so on this first section here where it talks about holiday lighting, and then it talks about 90 days.
Yes.
After I knew that we were going to discuss this, I have some neighbors down the way, and they have put up a fence, and the fence has different color lighting on each pole. How do we determine? I mean, it looks like holiday lighting, but it's not.
Well,
How are we going to, I mean, this is just not something we have to resolve right now, but it's like, there's a question about how that should
Joseph,
be enforced.
I'll double check right now, but I believe that the section on our lighting code actually has a definition for holiday lighting. So give me just
Well, I
one
could
second.
look, I have my code book here. I'll do
All right.
it. Thank you.
so Crystal, I thought about that too. So some people put up those strings of lights. And so evidently they would say that it's not temporary lighting. It's permanent lighting.
Yeah, that's what the neighbors have is permanent lighting. And then I have a string of lights on a bicycle that I made into an art project. which is not holiday lighting, but it's clear lights.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to be able to solve this. I think it's tricky but I think I think if we just say 90 days for holiday lights, it'll serve the needs of the city council.
Mhm.
It might
You know.
not be something we could really resolve.
I,
I agree, because I have some lights that are in my back porch that you can't really see anywhere except maybe if you got underneath, they're there all winter long.
Commissioner
So
Trini.
when you're saying holiday lighting in place for no more than 90 days, that could apply to an individual to pick out 90 days during the year that they want to put up lighting and call it a holiday? Because if you're saying 90 days, how do you know it's confined to the holiday? Like if somebody wants to put 4th of July,
Mhm.
red, white, and blue things that are, boop, boop,
They
boop,
call it 4th of July holiday.
but they can have it up for 3 months?
Yeah.
Or they could have a month in December, a month in July.
Month in October.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
So,
I don't know whether they could leave it up for 90 days, take it down for a day and put it up for again.
well, and the other question is, do the holiday lights reach that lumen level that
Right.
we're concerned about too?
Which we don't even have in our code.
I know we discussed this, but I feel like we're splitting hairs here because I think when people see holidays, they're thinking November, December, January. That's 90 days. No one ever puts lighting up for 4th of July because it's the middle of summer. They don't need lights.
Well, usually. And the main reason we're looking at it was for Halloween lighting, which,
Yeah.
it's still in that time frame.
So October 15th.
Yeah.
Put up some holiday lights, October, November, December, January.
I just don't think that that's enforceable, but that's just me.
And
Where it came from was, they want to put lighting on the street.
Yeah.
Main Street wants to put lighting up on the light poles and on standards and stuff. And they felt that was not, that it would be against the code if they did that.
Oh,
because as written right now, our code doesn't permit it in October, only in November, December, and January, which is where
Well,
we
no,
got.
it doesn't say you can't do it.
Right. So it says November, December, and January. So they couldn't put it up. So they can't put up Halloween lighting. The city wants to be able to put up Halloween lighting. That's where this whole thing is coming from.
Oh, okay, I never heard that before.
If I'm remembering correctly, or thereabouts is roughly correct. Two quick things. The first quicker one is the definition in our code for seasonal lighting is temporary lighting installed and operated in connection with holidays, traditions, or local festivals.
Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense to me than the way it's worded now.
mhm.
Yeah. So really, we should take out any mention of holiday lighting and replace it with seasonal lighting,
Let's
because
do that.
that's
Yeah.
what the definition in our code is. And then two, I really hope this doesn't get into a much larger discussion. My interpretation when we said 3 months was it was 3 continuous months. So
That's what I
like
understood, but
Uh-huh.
could have 3 months and then change your arrangement and have different lighting for, the next holiday for 3 months.
Okay. So I will look at the NEC and I think the NEC is going to say just 90 days, take it down, and then you're on your own.
All right.
But I'll look. I
Yeah.
don't think there's going to be in any year because it's an electrical safety question.
Okay.
If it's taken down and putting back up, then the national codes is happy.
Okay.
So then we have to struggle and find our own definition.
see,
Right.
those are all things I mean, those make sense as to why that is,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
but it's not part of it. Yeah, I just didn't know that.
so do we want to say no more than 90 days in a year?
No more than 90 days continuously.
Anybody here want to say that?
Or 90 consecutive days, or,
I think it should be 90 consecutive days.
Well, 90 days is, that's what it means. 90 days. In the National Electrical Code, it says 90 days. That means 90 days. You don't need to define that.
90 days in a row.
Because I was an electrician. I know what the code means.
Okay.
It's 90 days in a row.
It's really decorative lighting, isn't it?
Yeah. decorative
I
lighting.
mean, it's not, and everybody, and people nowadays have a tendency to use decorative lighting all year long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So an improvement of our code, if we were to improve our code and then the next iteration, if I'm still taking sustenance at that time, some of the codes have a limit. They have a maximum that a bulb size can be and not be restricted by the code. In other words, a Christmas bulb, you can have them up there's no restriction on Christmas bulbs in some of the codes. Just like like in some codes you can have a 60 watt, the equivalent of a 60 watt light bulb and not have it shielded on your front porch. Now, they don't all do that, but some of them do that. So that's just some of the territory. I think if we say seasonal lighting in place for no more than 90 days, we're going to make the city council happy.
Seasonal and or decorative.
No.
No,
I
Okay.
think that then
Decorative-
opens
people
up,
like having decorative lighting, and that's just gonna be effective light. I think.
it's going to be its own thing.
It's
yeah,
gonna be its own thing. I
Yeah.
think it
because
just,
what would be defined as decorative lighting then? Because like, oh, I have lights under a tree to light, light it up and,
Yeah.
so
So I think our city council is really kind of on top of anything kind of like this that we give at them. If they may bring that up, I'm going to go to the meeting where this is presented, and if they do, I'll bring it back and then we can do it. But if they don't want, if this is good with them, I say let's move on to bigger fish.
yeah, don't bring up the word decorative.
No, I won't. Maybe Commissioner Boyce
I
will.
have this.
He'll have something to say.
He can be in the audience. Well,
Thank you, Crystal, for your bringing us
Making
up.
this worse. Yeah.
well, making sure all of our bases are covered.
Okay, then moving on to enforcement. So that was the easy one. The enforcement, after reviewing our current code and the lighting codes of other coastal towns and reviewing how others address code violations, we feel the current code, while not perfect, does address the fundamental aspects of this type of ordinance. We believe the items listed below can bring about their successful enforcement. 1, time. When the current code was adopted in 2021, council voted to allow 5 years for offending lights to come into complete compliance. The 5 years will be up in August of this year. 2, education. From now until August and beyond, the city and PC need to inform the public of the enforcement date through various visual, written, and digital media. I would like to see our dark sky brochure in that thing down at Ray's,
Oh.
in the box down at Ray's, both sides.
All right.
And I'd like to have a little header underneath it that says, this will be enforced, or this will, the grace period is over August 2026. The 5-year grace period is over August 26. And I think that we should start doing education. That's what Commissioner Gomes says that all the places say.
Well, and a flyer in with your,
With the water bill, if it's not all full of other stuff, yeah.
but I think that it needs to be composed in such a way that it doesn't look like it's the Gestapo.
Yeah.
Telling you, if you don't do this, you're going to be in trouble.
So don't have me write it. So I'll tell you something later.
nominated you to write it.
Item 3,
It's very difficult.
enforcement. The Planning Commission has been gathering information from other coast towns on successful code enforcement compliance, and lighting is one piece of the puzzle. Based on information gathered, clear procedures for contacting owners, timing of warning or violation notices, helpful tracking forms, fee schedules, in-office protocols being put into place, citizen volunteer involvement, and police officer involvement as necessary. So those are the things that I just thought of from the information I've been talking to various people. And I'm open to suggestions for anything else that might help with enforcement that we could put in this letter. Obviously, this is our main work this year, is that number 3 and 2.
I'm a little concerned about the citizen volunteer involvement
Uh-huh.
based on the individual who it would, and their approach as we're talking about having the capacity to be gentle about it. And
They-
some people just being very aggressive. And I have this mission to do this.
They would
Um,
have to be vetted.
They would have to be vetted, but at the same time, we don't necessarily want to put them in harm's way,
Right.
Right.
which I could see, which I'm speaking from my own experience.
Yeah.
And having been in a position where I was not going to go into it, but so that's just something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the volunteer involvement could involve maybe just handing out the initial, just going and saying, you know, we've noticed, I've volunteered, you know, making the wording and having a piece of paper that states exactly how it should be stated. So they go and they don't have to come up with their own language. I think that's how we resolved it in my situation. And I think that would be a nice way to do it. So they don't have to think on their feet. And then they can just, you know, say, here's the code and blah, blah, blah. And then they say, you know, if you have an issue, this is who you would turn to go from here, so that so then it can go on to the bigger picture where the citizen isn't in harm's way.
I agree. It should all be spelled out. You know, they're,
Yeah. Okay.
And
what the-
I like the word suggestion
Yeah.
when it's a volunteer, because once they know you're a volunteer, they know you really don't have the right to make them do it. And it's probably better to just say, I'm a volunteer from the city and we're making suggestions for such and such.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think that's really important. Yeah.
would you first have a letter sent to them saying it's come to our, we've noticed that your lights are not in compliance, and we would like you to, you know, some kind of nice way of saying, could you please come into compliance, and here's what you need to do that first, before you have a human show up and,
What I hear is the human first.
I would suggest 2 humans,
Always.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The human first, and then, yeah, the suggestion, and then maybe a written suggestion, and then the legal, the one you're saying, and then the legal one.
right. So the human that shows up is who?
It's a special person. It's not going to be me. I have some ideas of who. Some people have already volunteered for me,
Okay.
to me. That they would be vetted though, and it would be, there are people who they just do that.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not going to take a lot of people. I mean,
No,
Right.
probably one person.
I mean, 2 people,
Well,
always 2 people going to someone's house.
yes, and a backup, and
I would say never go into someone's house.
no,
It's always 2 people when you're approaching citizens.
Curb.
Sorry to get that
No,
nitpick
you're
out there.
right. It's always 2 people.
good point.
Well, and I mean, some of them, you're going to want to go up on their doorstep. I don't think you want to drag them out to the curb.
Yeah. I'm not saying necessarily not on their property. I'm just saying definitely not
In the house.
in the house.
No.
No,
I
no.
said that, I didn't mean that, no.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I mean,
I know.
when I was running for office, I enjoyed talking to all the people, and most of them, you know, they don't think you're up to anything. But every once in a while, you have somebody who doesn't want you there.
So when I spoke with the police about enforcement, they said something really interesting. They will, when they go on someone's property, they will only go on the standard of going on someone's property is what the mailman or the package deliverer would do, which is a direct line from the street to the front door. And that's kind of the safe zone for people approaching somebody's house.
Except when they have dogs, and that should be another important factor too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because there's some very vicious dogs in this town.
definitely.
Mhm.
Tell me about it. Okay, so those are good suggestions. So yeah, the volunteer is going to be the volunteers will be a important part of it, having the forms, the procedures, when the city recorder is going to need to write the letter, what the letter is going to say, all that, so that when you get a request for a letter, you can just go down a checklist and, I'm sending this letter,
Yeah,
this date, and all that. And you don't have to do all the stuff.
no, usually I basically have a template on my computer that's, it has come to the city's attention that
Yeah, okay.
there may be a violation on your property. We've received a complaint and the specific code underneath is, I'll talk about whatever it is and then cite the specific code underneath it.
Awesome.
And where does the word suggestion come in on that?
So this would be more like the step 2 or 3, I would say, but usual, like I do start it with, there may be a, violation on your property.
So my,
So suggestion could be worked on there.
for these various notices,
Mhm.
are they already written or would they be written and then we would be able to review them just so that we are aware as well? Or maybe not yours, but the one that we are handing out to volunteers. I mean, who would write that particular notice or sheet?
Probably us.
Okay,
We're probably going to write all of it.
okay.
And really, it will probably be a very generic,
Yeah, no,
You
very
know,
genetic,
right.
yeah.
boilerplate, and then just have a section underneath where people, can just slide in the code that's being referenced.
Yeah, there are certain things that say, well, you have to have like what the code is, what'll happen if you don't do it, all that stuff.
Not to be super nitpicky, but if nobody's there and the volunteers are at the house, can they just leave the notice or should they not? It's not like the sheriff going up and saying,
They
Well,
can, but it's not legal.
Yeah.
so I would say they don't leave anything, they go back another time.
Well-
Because it's not legal.
Well, it wouldn't be legal anyway, it's not legal unless what?
Oh, even
Yeah.
it's not legal it's okay to leave the notice, but it's not a legal notice.
It's not a legal notice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Um,
leave a notice.
Okay.
And we have to leave them pretty frequently whenever we have a water line break. And we have to notify the people that they may be impacted. A lot of the time houses are going to be empty because, it's the middle of the day and people are at work. So we just have door hangers for that situation that we can put them on the doors. So,
Okay.
might not be door hangers, it might be taping it to the door, in this case. Or something similar.
Then at the very end, it says, we believe that once enforcement of the most glaring violations are in place, it may well be beneficial to revisit the outdoor lighting code for fine tuning. Until then, we would like to put our efforts into developing reasonable and not overly complicated procedural recommendations to support compliance in the city. So I'm bringing this letter to y'all, and it looks like if we change the word seasonal, so I can do that. Do you think this is a good idea to send this to city council?
Seems like it to me.
Wasn't there one other thing? But I didn't write it down.
There's
Something about the volunteer?
No, oh yeah, I guess just seasonal, yeah.
just
Um,
change holiday to seasonal.
Change holiday
Was
to
it-
seasonal.
Potentially adding the word continuous to the amount of days.
No,
Okay.
maybe, no, we resolved that.
Well, then, let's vote on it. I would entertain a motion to send this to city council.
I second.
I'm just entertaining a motion. Doesn't mean I moved it.
I'm moving a motion. I don't know the exact wordage.
So you move,
I move.
just the first. You make a motion, okay? Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Discussion. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, Commissioner Truini,
A.
Commissioner Boydston,
I,
Commissioner Thielens, and I. I. Okay. Thank you for your attention to that matter.
Doing that, Greg.
Discussion website ID citizen.
That's mine, I think.
Yeah, that's you, Crystal. Thank you.
All right. So an issue can everybody hear me? Is it okay? Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
So there's an issue coming about nationwide, and it's already happened in Oregon several times. And what is happening, apparently scammers are looking on city websites to see who has applications, and then they are, of course, they're finding the names and addresses and all this, and then they're following up, pretending to be the city and asking for people or telling people that they owe money for some part of an application or something that they're doing and to remit it and everything like that. So the discussion here, this first page has the blue, or maybe yours is black, fraud alert, how scammers are impersonating city governments. And then it talks about ways that planning departments can fight scammers. And, the first one is be transparent and consistent, outline the steps for submitting applications, make sure that your people know what's going to be involved and how you're going to respond to them so that something like this doesn't come as a surprise where they really think they do owe money. And then the second one there is to remove contact information from publicly available applications. Removing email addresses and the names and things like that is what they suggest. And then they talk about prioritizing education again with the residents. Now, there's other, then we had people from Oregon weighing in on our listserv, which is on, so this first thing, I saw it first in the planning, the national planning publication thing that they send out. Then this came from our own community administrator at LCDC or DLCD up in Salem. This is Laura Buell. And then this went on with people commenting, as they often do. So the first one is from Carol Johnson, and she's with Washington County. And she says they recently redacted addresses, phones, and emails from comment letters because, of course, once you have a public hearing, you have, especially if it's an active one, you have a lot of comment letters, as well as the people that are asking for something or might be involved in an application. So this person says she's already looking into it because it's generating controversy anyway. And then the second one, this one came from Dan Zinder, and he didn't give his where he works. But he says they got one that very day where the applicant was told that they had to pay some money and that somebody was acting like the city. And so then he was asking if there's anyone aware of legal implications of doing that. And of course there are, but it's probably small fish. So, it's not going to have a lot of attention, maybe from police or anything like that. Then we have Chris. I forget where she's from. I'm going to look down here and see. She's the senior planner at the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments. And they work with a lot of small cities, the Council of Governments does. And Chris says that these are good points and that this is page 2 at the bottom, that she has an understanding of why cities and counties in land use cases use the names and things, and that the U.S. Constitution requires due process. And then there's a lot of Oregon rules for how we're supposed to do that. Then the next comment. Oh, that's the one that starts with Chris. So this is from Jim Jacks. He used to work down here in Coos and Curry counties. He's been around about as long as me. And he has some very good comments here because, you know, we have to have those names and we have to publish them to some degree, because publishing, I mean, they're open to public review, but that would be different than the website, because the thought is that these things are being picked up on the websites and that they're not, you know, necessarily yet impersonating people to the cities to get that information, although that could come. So we have quite a few rules about how they have to be able to appeal something, they have to be present at the hearing, and they have to, their information has to be submitted into the record and things like that. So Jim went into some of that, Jim Jacks, in his reporting or his thoughts. And then we have Chris. So she's saying that maybe city police way of doing things is more like we should be doing, where they don't put out names at all. And then some other comments from John Boyd, who used to be at Roseburg. I think he's kind of semi-retired now. And then another one by Chris that talked before. My suggestion, and this is going to be for comment, that's why I have this in under here on discussion, is because I think I want you guys to understand what can happen and help make this decision for the Planning Commission. My suggestion, I think, would be to just not put it on the website for now. In other words, just redact the names, put the comments on there, redact the names and address. Well, I don't even know if you can redact the addresses. People have to be able to know where the property is, but I think you could do that with your mail outs and stuff like that. But you also do public notice in newspapers. So, you know, it's pretty well embedded, but I think the first thing would be just to make sure it doesn't go on the website. And then I suppose that if this becomes a problem, that's not a website problem where people are actually using names and addresses for nefarious purposes, LCDC might enter into this and get the legislature to make some laws about what we should and shouldn't be doing. But at this point, my suggestion would be the next time that we have a public hearing that we just try redacting things on the website. But I want to hear from you guys.
So is it all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I try and stay on top of a lot of the cybersecurity issues. So we were also aware that this was something that had come up since the last meeting. And we, at the last city council meeting, let citizens know, hey, people are using city information to scam people. Always be on the lookout for scammers. The city will not contact you and ask you to click on a link, will not contact you and basically ask you for money. If, you know, we contact you, it'll be like just letting you know you have an outstanding balance. We won't directly give you the means to pay. Additionally, there's actually going to be I believe it's a free computer class here on the 20th at the library that I'll be helping out with. So to get some of our older citizens a little more technologically literate. And I already don't put most planning information on the website. If it's a regular planning packet that doesn't require notice, then I won't mention it outside of just the planning commission meeting, in which case I let the council know that's what the planning clearances since last meeting are for. So that way we can let the citizens know here's where development's going to be happening without giving out too much information that can easily be obtained. If it gets to the point though, we have to do public notices. The only one coming up I can think of would be a potential extension renewal for the golf course pipeline. That's the only one I can think of that might be coming up. And thank you for bringing up Crystal, because I'll think about how to do that on the back burner until it comes up.
Thank you, Crystal. Go ahead.
Not-
No?
No, that
Uh,
makes sense to me.
So I can see that when we do have a land use hearing
Mhm.
here, I will still ask people where they live, but I won't. Is
Yeah.
there a card or something that they can
So-
put their actual address on so that they keep their right to appeal?
Yeah, we
That's
can do it
probably what we have to do.
that
Yeah.
way. I will say that the paperwork that's up there, it says like state your name and address and issue you're talking about. I actually replaced address with state if you live in city limits, the UGB or the county.
So do they need to have the address? But you'll need the address to the appeal
Yes.
to know
We
whether
should
they.
have everybody sign in to our meetings.
So what I can do, I can say, to me,
At least-
just give me your name and give me the town you live in. But if you want to have standing in this case, put your address down there
Yeah.
and it'll go to here and it won't be publicized anywhere.
I don't
Yeah.
even think, I would like to comment. I don't think we even have to say that. We should say that the city wants the names and addresses of the people at the meeting, if they are willing. I mean, if they have standing, we have to have it, but sometimes we want to contact somebody that was at a meeting. And if we don't know where to find them, we can't help them.
Right.
And I just have a clarifying question for you, Crystal. When you say the names and addresses of everybody at the meeting, I assume you mean everyone who's speaking, not necessarily if they're just
Well,
sitting in.
most of the cities that I've worked in, we just have them sign in when they come in.
Right.
But I don't know, I'm not really thinking that that's always important, but I think it's good to know who's at your meetings. Because I don't know how many times we've gone back to that, trying to check spelling of a name or where they actually live or something like that. I don't think they have to put their address as long as they're from the city, but
We, at the very least, do ask people who are speaking at any meeting
Yeah.
to write down their name on the sheet so we can at least get the spelling correct.
Right. But
Yes.
not just a audience.
I don't think the
Well,
audience,
when I do meetings and stuff, like I'm a facilitator or have been in many places. And it's really hard to just claim you had 50 people at a meeting if you don't have any record of it. And I think
sorry.
it's important. I guess it's old fashioned, but why wouldn't we want to know for our own records?
That is a good point, Crystal. I will say when we have a larger audience in attendance for more controversial topics, I usually will do a quick audience pan, sort of like this. So that way it's on our video recording, what the state of the room looks like and how many people were in attendance. It at least gives a general idea.
I don't know. I don't know how many times I've called people after a meeting to help clarify something.
Mhm.
But if I couldn't find their names, I couldn't do that.
All right.
Because I don't think that everything that you think they need is always appropriate to say at the meeting.
Of course not.
I have a related privacy issue that I'd like to mention. So the other day was last month. I was looking up on my phone. I have I go to the Guardian and I read the news. And so I just type G because it autofills Guardian. It also fills my email address.
Hmm.
And I hit my email address instead of the Guardian one day. And the first thing that came up was my application for the Planning Commission with my name, my phone number, my email address, where I lived. So can that be taken down or something happen with that? I don't know how many, I mean, that's the third one I've done. So I don't know if they're all up there.
Yeah, I think I'll have to actually check, but I'll look into it for you.
Like everything on our, in the packet. It was probably from a city council packet.
Yeah, because they're the ones who formally appoint
Yeah.
commissioners.
So I don't know the answer to that, but I don't like having my
Yeah,
street address on there.
yeah, I would love to just give a response, but I really do have to double check because
Okay.
I believe technically an application for an appointment is part of a public record.
Okay, well, whatever. See you later. No, just kidding. Okay, thank you, Crystal. Is there any more
Wait a minute, I
comments?
had something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I think one of these comments and alluded to maybe that's the cities need to change a little bit about how they do collect information and how much that information is made available. And that would, I think, somewhat address what Greg just said about somebody's street address. I mean, I go online to look for people's phone numbers all the time, like, oh, I want to contact this person. And I look up at the university where they are and then blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't give their street address. And so a lot of times it just gives their email and it doesn't even give a phone number.
Yeah.
And I think that could be something that could be also implemented here. 'Cause I certainly don't want somebody having my street address, although certainly get on the internet and look me up and boom, there I am.
Yeah.
It's not like
A little more work though.
still work to get online and look it up through being on the planning commission or
Yeah.
something, but it's not hard to get somebody's address.
Is there a way to, would it work to take the application and when you, I assume you scan it,
Mhm.
that you take the original, put it in a file and just cross out the address and the phone number and say on record. Just write in on record and then scan it.
I will look into revising the form and making sure it takes out vital information like what the commission is recommending, but I do need to double check what I need to keep on there for public
Yeah,
record law.
okay.
Because there's a reason, like as much as I understand not wanting your address as part of a public record, if you're part of a governing body, they need
Yeah.
to make sure you actually live in the city that you are part of
Right, right.
part of governing.
I would assume I would give it to the government.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I just Joe Blow down the street that looks up.
yeah,
I don't necessarily want to have that happen.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, my fingerprints are, I used to be a federal employee, so my fingerprints are all over the place, but
Me too.
it's just the idea of, like he was saying, a citizen being able to look, I said something in a meeting they didn't like and they looked me up. Boom. Now the
And-
next thing I know, they're doing,
And then even
spray
if,
painting my house or something.
well, and it may not just be scammers, it may be in this political climate.
Right.
that-
Yeah, especially in this political
Intimidation
climate.
or-
et
Could be
cetera,
something
et
you
cetera.
say or something.
Mhm.
Okay,
Lighting.
thank you for looking that up. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
And
Like,
if you find what you want to do with the form and want it done, I'll bet somebody on the planning commission would redo the form actually.
Yeah,
If you just tell me what it is
yeah,
that you want to do, I can see that gets done.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get online and see what's available, what comes up when I,
yeah,
Well, if you're on Facebook.
yeah, I'll
Just look
have
it up.
more to say on that after the meeting.
Okay,
Mhm.
great.
Of course,
Well, I want
of course, there's many other things that have to do with that. Like,
Yeah.
my brother doesn't have any information hardly in the public sector. And so when somebody asks about him, AI makes up something.
Yeah,
But mine is all out there. Cause I've been involved as mayor and stuff like that and with every little city and it's very interesting. So, I mean, you know, they can make up anything they want nowadays. Just a
Okay, are
comment.
are you satisfied with that? Thank you for that, Crystal.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal.
I want to just backtrack to item B, because I wanted to bring up a document here. It's not some notes that I have with a conversation with someone I had. So we can't, if we don't, while we're waiting for enforcement to come into place about dark skies, I don't want to just blow it off because I'm concerned about this. So what I would like to see the Planning Commission do is, these are ideas. What if we get an instrument that measures the light and Mr. Willis, Rolly Willis said he had one and I believe he gave it to Commissioner Gomes. I think she has it. What if a commissioner or maybe two commissioners went around at night and made a list of the most egregious situations? So that's something there are things that can be done before the actual enforcement piece is in place. So that's one of them. Another thing is, do any of the stores actually carry any of these shades that would fix these fixtures? Maybe we could talk to Mike down at the hardware store and see whether he's, has it. If you wanted to put a shade on a floodlight or something, can he get those?
Or even the dollar store.
Or the dollars? Yes, the dollar store, absolutely.
A lot of
They
people
have
go
stuff
there.
like that?
Dollar store. Well, they sell floodlights.
Yeah. Most of the floodlights anymore are not floodlights, they're those bright motion detector things you get at Co-op that are like searchlights
They're like the ones on the boats.
at Costco, I'm sorry.
Cop lights. Okay, so we could make recommendations. I mean, the commission, individuals of the commission, obviously can't do anything. Three of us can't get together because then we have a quorum. So, but two people could get together and go around and look, or even one person could go around and make a list of where are the brightest lights that are not shielded?
Well, in our individual neighborhoods, we could make a few notes and then
Yeah. Or drive around, whatever you want.
get Raleigh's light meter.
Yeah, pull out your cell phone and do you have an app? So I have an app on my cell phone. It's called,
I have a decibel amp or app.
it's called Physics Toolbox.
Huh.
It's got a light meter, it's got a tilt meter, it's got a north, it's got sound, it's got it all. You just hold it up and it just reads what the light is.
I wouldn't mind driving around and doing that.
How accurate
Drive
is that?
around. Let's drive around.
Okay, I'll drive around. What the hell?
You
Okay.
get in the back seat.
I'll walk
pretend you're not
around.
there.
I'll walk around like I'm a deer in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I think we have to be wary of making recommendations in our own neighborhood.
Oh, that's probably right.
But I'll walk around your
Well,
neighborhood.
as long as they don't have my name and address.
Yeah, right. Well, I think they probably do. It's just one click away. Okay, I just wanted to circle back to that and just kind of prepare ourselves for, so we stay engaged on that.
I guess I want to circle around to the
The what?
education part of it.
Yes.
Is there any chance that we can have put the pamphlets out, like for people to pick up when they're checking out of places like the Co-op, dollar store, all these different places? Can we just put stacks of these so that people
We can
have
pay them to
them?
have some more made. We have about 40 left.
Well, that's what I was asking, because, I mean, would that come out, who would pay for that? Because I know the
It
city
was a
doesn't have the
donation
budget.
paid for the first batch.
Oh,
Well, what is it? Is it the whole code or just the
No, it's
highlights?
just a little informational brochure. You haven't seen the dark sky brochure?
It's a nice
think
dark
you-
sky brochure.
I
I
have
gave
the
you one
book.
here not too long ago.
I have the
It's a
book.
trifold. It's a dark, it's black and
Yeah,
It has
Nice.
Got
highlights
stars.
of the code on it, and then it has a QR code on the back that if you scan it, takes you directly to the outdoor lighting code for the city of Port Orford.
oh, perfect.
it's a nice little, it's not really specific. It doesn't
Mhm.
say like light levels. but-
Right.
But it talks about shielding on lights
So It
and,
gives you a link back to the
yeah,
actual ordinance.
it's a good little brochure. So that's what I'm recommending that we put up in the raised the raised
Their little bulletin board.
bulletin board along with a little note
Yeah.
and,
So- I'll work something up and send it to you here in the next week or two.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, education. So,
Right.
yeah, what can we do? How can we educate? Like obviously like an article in the newspaper would be good. Something on Facebook.
You know, the high school has a newspaper. They have-
Really?
Yes, they have what's it called? The PHS Pirates or whatever it is. It's a newspaper. It's pretty good. It's like a 4 or 5 page.
Better than the.
And it's free. Yeah, it's put out by the student body.
Where can you
I
get it?
don't know how we got one, but I think it might have come in the mail or
The
something.
journalism class evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah, my school did.
That might be, we could call one of the students.
Do an
It's-
interview.
And yeah, and let them know, and they could put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
We do it.
you should do it.
Okay, I'll look it up. I think I might have used that paper for fire starter.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But yeah, I'll look into that.
Okay,
Thanks.
that'd be great. And then other ideas for education, the water bill you mentioned, that box down at Ray's,
Could you get up at could you just get on a microphone at Ed's or something and just make a little announcement?
maybe you could do that.
Well, and then there's the local radio station.
Oh, the radio station.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Maybe, Greg, you could write a little tune, sing a little
Yeah, I
jingle.
think we need a dark sky jingle.
We used to do that when when we were first doing planning for the goals and all that stuff, and we had them on the local news.
You could do a
The,
limerick.
the dark sky radio hour could have a little drama.
Yeah.
You're making out in the car. Honey, how are all these lights? Why are they so bright? That would be for the newspaper.
Well, I don't know if the high school.
Or for the high school
Publish something so racy.
It's 2026, dude.
I know, but it's still a high school. They have to at least have a veneer of, PG-13ness.
Formality of
Yeah.
I like the radio idea.
decorum.
Yeah, decorum.
Okay, anything else on education?
No,
That was pretty good brainstorming. I bet there's another one out there. Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Think what we can do, because I really believe that education is just getting into people's mind. I mean,
getting the discussion going, so people start thinking about it, talking about it, regardless of how they feel about it. And then putting a formal thing on the network, I think is a good way to do it, Facebook network,
Yeah, I will make a note and actually do it.
and just give that to Wiz to
I
put
already
on
did
there.
actually.
even if the note in the box at Ray's
I guess I should say.
didn't say, or maybe it said, you have 5 months until the lighting thing is, then in next month, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months. So that it's like updated and people are going, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
All right.
I'm going to move on. Planning clearance is approved since the last meeting.
All right, so only 4 of them. Thankfully, the winter season's not too busy for building and planning. We had one on Highway 101 across the highway from Dollar General. That is a full new development. They are connected to a well. Next, we have a minor petition that is still in process, and there's a little confusion there. It's up on Vista. There's a retaining wall on Jefferson that is being replaced, and there on 13th Street, someone is putting in a garage.
What was the development across from Dollar General?
It's a duplex. Two, smaller sized dwellings on one lot.
I missed the one after Vista, number 3. What was number 3?
Retaining wall being replaced on Jefferson.
Okay.
Retaining wall.
On Jefferson. Oh, probably the other end of Jefferson.
Mhm.
Okay.
And thankfully, there's only 4 of them. Like I said, the winter season isn't too busy for building and planning, thankfully, because not a lot of building you can do in the winter months here.
Pretty nice weather though.
Yeah.
The best, in my opinion. I just don't want to be outside on a roof or on a ladder during it. But I got a lot of emails about people wanting lots for addresses assigned. I've had a ton of questions regarding the ADU code and the STR codes. And a lot of people looking at doing renovations. So not a lot of actual applications, but a lot of people asking questions.
Good. Okay, well, then we have city planner comments. Crystal, do you have any comments?
No comments, thank you.
How about you, Joseph?
Not that I'm aware of.
I could go back to a comment.
Yes.
I had somebody talk to me about the county commissioners here in Coos Bay recently, and prior to that, I had some people talking about somebody else in some city that didn't know what was going on because they didn't have a strategic plan and everything like that. And I just like to say that I think there's a misunderstanding when there's so much reference to, well, you got to have a strategic plan and why is nobody doing this and everything. And I was kind of bringing that up at the wrong time, I think last month when it came up, but it wasn't my time to be talking. But I think that people need to understand that in Oregon, there are so many plans that are required as part of the ongoing business. And they start with the comprehensive plan, which is basic visionary plan. And then you go into the statewide planning goals and you go into those in that plan. And then, all the other stuff that with the code that tells you what you can do and what you can't do and how. And then, it's down to lighting codes and things like that. And so when people say to me, they're complaining about the commissioners not doing strategic, not even knowing if they have a strategic plan or something. I think it's kind of a false flag because Oregon already requires so many plans that it's hard for cities and counties to keep up with those. And they do have a lot of that in them. They're not necessarily exactly like a strategic plan, but those are the things that we have to keep up. And we try to do that. And we're usually behind on that too. So I just wanted to comment on that strategic plan is a word that people throw around a lot, and then they wonder why the county commissioners say, well, we don't have a strategic plan or something. And it's like, yeah, but they have all these other plans that are their responsibility within that. A strategic plan might be a different thing where you actually talk about what your internal things, how you operate and things like that, more than land use and all these public plans that we have for sewers and public plans that we have for water lines and all these things. There's dozens of them. So that's my comment. Am I
Okay.
making sense?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you have levels from state to county to city.
Yeah, and all of them have to be in, in the ideal world, they would all be in sync.
Hmm.
So a strategic plan is kind of a accessory plan that you can do if you have time and if you have a desire and if you have the people to implement it. But these other ones are also plans. And so there's so much built into the structural system that people don't even realize they're forward-looking plans.
Mhm. Yep.
They actually go down to the point of how you're going to do it and every little minutia. And that's what we do as planning commission members. And I just think it's interesting when people are criticizing that government agencies that they don't even do plans, It's like, really?
well, I wouldn't say that.
No, but
But-
some people think that, yeah.
That's
Because they
they're
don't
not-
know what you're talking about when you talk about a strategic plan. Is that what we do or is that not what we do?
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Planning commission comments.
Down here,
No comments?
no comment.
I would like to thank Crystal and Joseph and you two for showing up and doing the work you do. It's important work, even though we're not making any plans.
Not making much money either.
Planning on how to make the plan.
We're planning on making plans. That's right. We are. Someday we'll make a plan. Okay, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. And our next meeting will be
March 10th.
March 10th. And Crystal, you were saying that you would like to go to an afternoon meeting. Is that the time to go to an afternoon meeting? It will be a daylight savings, I believe.
Well, I don't care. I mean, we're going to be coming into spring pretty soon. So I'm trying to attend these winter meetings online. And then if
Okay.
you have your meetings at night or whatever in the summer, that's okay. I'll come.
Okay, so we'll just keep it at 5:30 for now.
Well, whatever the planning commission wants is what you should have.
Okay, well, you were saying that you don't care to drive at night and
Well, I don't, and that's why I'm doing these online.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and meet at 5:30 again next month. It might be dark by the time the meeting's over. It probably still will be.
If we're
I
gonna,
probably will be, and honestly, I don't have to be there when I don't,
We're
when
not
there's
doing-
a public
we're doing-
hearing or something.
Yeah,
we're gonna change the time. I would like ideally the entire commission to vote on it.
okay,
Or at least more than minimum necessary for a quorum, because we
okay.
want everyone to know that the time is changing.
So March 10th, 5:30. Are there public considerations? I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
No one online.
Okay. Then I am going to adjourn this meeting. It is 6:55.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.